Hi, I'm Garth Ennis, and this is Forbidden Planet TV.
Welcome to Forbidden Planet TV. I'm Andrew Sumner. Here is Garth Ennis.
Hello there, Andrew. How's it going?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
Pretty good.
We also have a special guest, our mutual friend, Liam Sharp. There he is. How you doing,
Andy,
man?
how you doing? I'm very well. Happy to support my friends' awesome projects.
Right on, and awesome it is, because this is an all boys episode of Forbidden Planet TV. So of course we've got the third season of the Boys just hitting on Amazon, which has been an immense success, which you must be very pleased about, Garth.
I certainly am. Yeah, it's taken off in a way that has surprised me. Actually, I had a feeling it would do well, because it's such a simple idea. And also I thought not only that people might be a bit tired of superheroes and wouldn't mind seeing them getting a kicking, but also the reason they'd be tired of them was because, of course, superheroes are everywhere now on film and TV and everywhere. But what that does, if you think about it, is it lays the groundwork for the Boys perfectly, because now everyone, mainstream viewers as well as comic book readers, understand the notion of the shared universe, of the whole world of superheroes, of the idea of you go for a walk, Batman swings past, Superman flies by, the Joker's robbing the bank. They're all there in the same world. And that, of course, is a similar universe to the one the Boys exist in. And so in a way, the groundwork had been done very well, and that's why I thought it would do well. It would strike a chord, but I couldn't have imagined it would have gotten to be as big as it has. That's been tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, it's got such an energy of its own as well, and I think you've been blessed with. I mean, it's become almost such a cultural touchstone, to watch it blow up like that, and the cast are really invested in it, and it's just become such a massive thing.
Yeah, I think credit is due to Eric Kripke, who I think has a very nuts and bolts approach to his writing and to running a show like The Boys. He can zero in on exactly what makes it work and focus on that, and at the same time give you plenty of good stuff to enjoy in the periphery too.
Yeah, right on. Are you a Boys fan, Liam?
I'm a massive Boys fan. I absolutely love it. Yeah. No, I was invested straight away, and I was just, from the very first episode, I was just cackling. like it's classic Goth, but just left with the hands and the mist of blood, and oh my god, the characters are so twisted and perfect and recognizable. And Carl Urban, of course, just not Carl Urban. What am I saying? What's his name?
Yeah, it's Carl Urban.
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up with the other Urban.
Keith Urban, the country guy. Yeah. Carl Urban's fantastic in the show, mate. You must be so pleased with that performance.
Yes, I mean, I loved him as Dredd.
Yeah, he's great as Dredd.
He's tremendous in this. He's one of those actors that I think has been around longer than you think. He's shown up in various things over the years, but he's always made an impression. There's no one else quite like him. He's perfect for a show like The Boys. Although the cast is generally great. Yeah. I think the cast is spot on.
Yeah, no, I mean, you've been very, very well served, I think, by the whole thing, and as a result of this wild success you're having, with the whole show, the guys over at Dynamite are doing some interesting things, and there's a couple of things for us to talk about. One of which is, let's start with the omnibuses, because they're just about to release a series of oversized omnibuses. Volume 1 will be out in April, all available for pre-order here, and Volume 2 will be out in June. What do you think of those? How are they shaping up, mate?
I think that's a format I'm very fond of. Actually, I have just on the bookshelves here. I have my Preacher and Punisher and Hellblazer editions. And while you have to be careful about dropping them on your toe or whatever, they are a really nice way, I think, to read the whole thing in one go, or in this case, 3 goes, because I believe it's going to come out as 3 volumes eventually. God, if it's 2, that's going to be positively backbreaking.
Yeah.
But I think it is a nice way to sit down and read the whole thing, at your leisure, rather than in the smaller books. So I'm pleased that they're doing them. That's another nice thing about the show. It's taken the book itself to heights that perhaps we might not have reached otherwise. The Boys has been a pretty steady seller for Dynamite in the years between the end of the comic and the beginning of the show, but this has taken us to much greater heights.
Yeah, good, quite rightly, mate. And another Dynamite project again. Not only available for pre-order here, but which we've got signed editions of from Garth. Thank you very much for that, mate. Is the Boys Scriptbook. So what's that all about, man?
Well, very simply, it reprints, I think, 7 or 8 scripts from throughout the series, ones that I chose, and provided a degree of commentary for. So when you get the book, you'll see the scripts. There's an introduction, but there's also commentary on each of the scripts as I sort of take you through what I was doing. It's funny, because there was a time that I was a bit suspicious about the reprinting of scripts, which, has for the past 20 or 30 years has been quite a popular element in comics, in collected editions, pop a script in at the back. I always just felt that the script was the bit that shouldn't be seen, that it's supposed to disappear into the art and produce, a greater sum of the parts of the whole process. But, I've come around to the idea that people are interested in the nitty gritty. They want to see how the thing is made. They want to compare the artist's finished pencils with and inks with the writer's original intentions. I'm happy to say that I'm usually well served there. And it was nice to go back and revisit some of those episodes and remember what I was thinking about when I was writing the scripts, and how nicely people like Derek Robertson and Russ Braun and John McCrae did when they came to illustrate them.
Yeah,
it's funny actually, your scripts, because that's one thing is like, often the humor of something, and especially the way you write, your brain is so visual that I found when I was doing Reptilian, sometimes I'd read the words and I'd just treat it very literally, because again, I was just thinking of Steve Dillon and the way about he would just be so literal in the way he sort of did the facial expressions and everything. And then when the thing came together with the words and the pictures and everything, it would get an extra level of humor. It would just like, you get this extra kick in it. This is like, I'd already tittered once, but it's weird how that happens. There's definitely an alchemy in it.
Yeah.
So I like the scripts. It's good.
Well, I mentioned on a previous discussion how influenced I was by 2000 AD's John Wagner and Pat Mills and so on, but that applies to the scripts as well. I mean, my scripts are based very heavily on John's. I use the same basic method, which is to give the artist exactly what he needs and no more, and then get out of his way. You think of the classic John Wagner script. You've drawn quite a few of them. Dread on bike. It doesn't sound like much, but when you consider what you did from that, and what Esquerra, Dillon, Gibson, Bolin, McMahon did from that, and you think of some of those classic cityscape backgrounds with Dread blazing towards you on his Lawmaster, it's obvious that a little can go a long way in that sense in terms of inspiration. So people are going to certainly see that when they pick up the book, that my scripts are quite sparse, and I really do try to get out of the way after I've delivered the information required.
I think I think what I remember from some of the war books we worked on back in the day, Garth, is that while they are quite, they're very lean, the humour's there on the page from the get-go. That's the thing that I enjoy, and it's exactly what you're saying, Liam. Seeing that humour get developed from, because your scripts always make me laugh when I look at them. But again, you see it doubling down with the artwork, and particularly with when you're working with guys who are Liam's caliber or Dylan, as we said, the master of characterization. So I always looked forward to your Dylan scripts, to seeing exactly how he would make those people, those faces look in those moments of dismay and horror.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned Steve, because in my experience, it's a mistake to tell an artist to think funny or think scary or anything like that. You can certainly say something like, and then Batman appears from the darkness, nice and sinister, but you don't want to go anywhere beyond that. Steve told me about working with someone who had learned or thought they'd learned the craft from Alan Moore by reading Alan's scripts, which of course were famously verbose. But as in all things, what works for Alan Moore will not necessarily work for anybody else. And Steve says that he had to wade through, quite a sizable paragraph to get to, with a yellow highlighter, to get to what he was actually required to draw, which was something quite mundane. Because the guy's saying, now, when you're drawing this, I want you to be thinking about piles of baby skulls at midnight, the worst things imaginable, worms, snakes running through the eye sockets. But when he actually gets to draw it, it's like a bloke walking down the street in a bad mood.
But it's like when you get a script that tells you the sky is gunmetal grey, and it's like, I'm drawing it in black and white.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, we all knew Steve, and Steve was not thinking about piles of baby skulls. He was thinking about finishing up and heading to the pub for half a dozen kids. So there's no point in going on about, you should be thinking this, get into this mindset, play this album while you're drawing it. Yeah, that's just unnecessary, in my experience.
And everybody's going to get a flavour of that if they check out this beautiful signed edition of the Boys Scriptbook Volume 1, available from the links attached here, as is the book that we've been referencing in some of our earlier conversations, which is Batman Reptilian, which is Liam and Garth's wonderful Batman book, which I'd always totally recommend. All that stuff is available here. And gents, it's always such a pleasure to see you both.
All right.
Cheers, Andrew.
You take care, guys. I'll see you soon.
Great.
All right.
All the best.
All the best. Take
Cheerio.
care.
If you're enjoying watching Forbidden Planet TV and you're enjoying watching us talk to the world's most interesting and accomplished filmmakers, authors, artists, musicians, creators, subscribe right here. See you soon.